I'm not hyping a fight. You guys are just finally doing your job and covering the best fighter in the world. Me. You know, I have a feeling beating up Anderson is going to be like eating Chinese food, and 20 minutes after I do it, I'm going to want to do it again. So hopefully they give him an immediate rematch. That night, if I could, I'd fight him twice. The single worst draw in the history of the championship division that dates back to 2001 when Silva took over. His merchandise doesn't move. He's sponsored by nobody. He has one sponsor, and I couldn't tell you what their name is. It's some off-brand that I think you got to buy like on the side of a street out of some guy's car. Nobody likes him. Nobody cares about him. He's got to go. That's it. These aren't my words. This is coming from the top.
Leading up to this fight, when you were talking about Anderson, you would always say, you know, you ain't seen nothing yet. I got a lot more on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
If you do fight him, what can we expect to hear?
Well, it'll be a verbal beat. Anderson Silva will be in tears before it's all over. You know, look, there's just a lot out there on the guy. I mean, this guy's no more real than the Loch Ness monster. And if he needs me to expose him, I will. But I'll tell you, the guys in the back know who the tough guy is. If we walk in the back dressing room and Anderson says put on hip hop and Chael walks in and says put on country, I guarantee it's going to be a hoedown. The guys are going to do what I say. So as far as him being the bully of the playground, well, his 15 minutes of fame is up.
But one can make the case for this being the most anticipated one, largely in part because of you and because of, you know, all the talk leading up to the fight. Do you feel as though you've had to sort of carry the promotion and keep people interested, especially after what Anderson did at 112?
Yeah, I mean, it's the way it should be. Nobody cares about Anderson Silva. Nobody buys his merchandise. He's the worst selling pay-per-view draw in the history of the UFC Championship division. He doesn't talk to the fans. He doesn't talk to the media. He pretends he doesn't speak English. This is the way it should be. It should be the Chael Sonnen show. I'm the one they're tuning in to see. I'm the one that's selling out the arena, not him. So, yeah, I do feel that way, but that is the way it should be.
Well, the final question, just to ask, because you talk about the answers. Anything from, you know, Abu Dhabi till this point that you have regretted saying?
Yeah, a couple regarding the fight?
Well, maybe in general. I'll give you the forum right here.
Well, fight-wise, no. If I assume you mean towards Anderson. No, I would never apologize to Anderson. In a million years, I wouldn't apologize to that guy. I've held back. I've been nothing but a gentleman to Anderson Silva. I offered him a way out. That treaty needed to be signed and faxed back to me on Sunday. He missed it by 3 days. Now we're going to go to war.
There's this dirtbag named Anderson Silva. His running is done. His 15 minutes of fame are up.
Anderson Silva is easily the most unpopular fighter in this company. When Anderson Silva walks into a room, you could hear a rat piss on cotton. People tell me he's a great fighter. I say, really? When did you see him fight? Because I haven't seen him fight.
He can go dance and be the Michael Jackson of MMA like he likes to do.
Well, Anderson's a fraud. He's a liar, and he's a thief. He beat up a math teacher. He beat up a slow and unathletic light heavyweight, a couple of them.
I stand here on my own free will. I stand here because I beat every middleweight they got in my way. Anderson's here because Dana White's making him.
We don't have to fight. I issued him in writing. I sent it over my demands.
He leave the UFC for no less than 12 months. He issued an apology to the fans. Simple things. And he erected a statue in my likeness in his living room that he bowed to each evening.
He didn't accept them.
Who cares how he leaves? Just go. He's been threatening to go for a long time. Nobody cares. We're ready to see him leave. He's a nuisance. He's annoying, and he doesn't have any fans. People say, do you want to fight the best Anderson Silva? I don't care if it's the best Anderson or the worst Anderson. I'm going to beat either Anderson.
I'm going to put him on his prissy little ass. I'd light up a big old mouth cannon, and I'd walk away laughing.
Who's the better one?
CP. Your ace, your guy, ace of hearts.
I don't want to fight Anderson. I want to beat him down. I want to destroy Anderson. That's the difference with me and Nate. He really wants to get that fight. Go fight him. But when you're done playing around, they'll call me.
Well, I'm the toughest guy in the company, period, whether it's Anderson or any other opponent. But there's never been a guy with earrings that could out-tough me, and he's not going to be the first. I'm going to skip the first question because it's ridiculous. So I really don't care about that. I don't believe in these things like sportsmanship and honor and all this crap that you guys like to talk about. I think it's a fight. Go out there and do whatever you want. Secondly, no, I just don't like him. That's it. I don't offer an apology, and I don't need to give an explanation. We can't all get along. He and I aren't going to be friends, and we're going to go out and fight. And that's it. I don't wish him a bad life. I don't have to hope anything bad happens to him. I'm going to take his belt on August 7th, and Dana's going to fire him on August 8th. You know, American fans aren't biased to Americans. We just like whoever we like here. We're not real hometown people like a lot of countries. Anderson, I don't think, has any fans. He's the only guy in the world that's been a champion 4 years, never beaten in 4 years, that's sponsored by one company. Nobody sponsors him. Nobody puts their name on the guy, and nobody wants to dress like him, act like him, or be like him. I, on the other hand, have a number of sponsors, a number of merchandise that's got my name on it, and it's some of the best sellers out there. So I know who the fans are behind. I don't think about Anderson at all. I don't spend any of my days thinking about him unless somebody asks me about him. You know, the opponent just doesn't matter. That's what bullies do. That's what Anderson does. Guys go out and they pick their fights and they take easy fights, fighting math teachers from Ohio and one-legged guys from Canada. It's going to be a tremendous difference when he gets in with an All-American from Portland, Oregon. I'm the one they want to see. I'm the one that they're paying to see, and I really don't even know why he's here. You know, these guys go in there and they say, well, he's scared. Well, that's street talk. That's what you say on the playground. You call one of them kids scared, the other kid admits it, then all of a sudden you don't have to fight him. Who cares if you're scared or not? I'm going to put my hands up and go run them into his face repeatedly on August 7th as soon as they call my name to watch it. I mean, you got to understand, I could drag Anderson Silva outside the hotel and beat him up anytime I want. I've made a commitment to wait till August 7th, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure millions of people watch me do it. I challenged Anderson Silva for 4 years, and he's ducked me every bit of the way. I challenged both of those guys, and in the process, I fought 12 guys in the top 10, beat 10 of them, beat every champion of every organization there's ever been except one, and that's because neither of those guys would give me my shot. I beat the Elite XC champion, I beat Strikeforce champion, I beat Bodog's champion, I beat IFL's champion, I beat the WEC champion twice. I beat every champion of every company there's ever been, and there's not another middleweight living today that can make that claim, except for the UFC champion. And the math teacher wouldn't fight me, and neither would the Spider. But he's here now, and he's not here on his own free will. He's here because Uncle Dana made him do it. It's shocking that he actually believes it and then stands there with his chest out like we should all pat him on the back and go, oh, good job, Anderson. You're training really hard. Well, guess what, dummy? I've been training really hard since I was 9 years old, and I still have time to bring interest to people seeing me whip your ass on August 7th.
Most of your losses are to submission. I don't think you can stand with them. I think it's a bad matchup for you. How do you think that fight's going to go?
Well, I've heard of you. Now, I didn't know I'd ever meet you, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Anderson Silva's fan. I heard that he had one. Greetings. I didn't know I'd see you. I thought it was like absolute zero or the fifth dimension. I would never see it in my lifetime. But welcome to Vancouver. And to answer your question, every fight I've ever lost is by submission. So you bring up a very fair point, and I also don't think I can stand with him, but I assure you I do not have to.
I've never seen anyone like Anderson Silva clown around in the octagon that much. What are you going to do if he starts doing that again, like he did against Damian Maia?
You know, I really don't know. That would be uncharted waters for me. I've never had anybody do that in practice. I've never had anybody do that in a fight. And it's a good possibility. I truthfully don't know if he does that, but a lot of that's his mystique. A lot of that moving, or what you refer to as clowning, is what he uses for a setup. He's got a black belt under the Nogueira brothers. I think a black belt under the Nogueira brothers is saying I got a free toy in my Happy Meal. I don't really. Yeah, you know, that's really it. Look, there's not a plan B. He doesn't have one either. He's got to keep it standing up, and I got to throw him down. I got 2 national championship plaques on my wall that says I can take him down. Okay? I got a silver medal from the World Championships in 2001 that says he can't stop me from taking him down. If he's got an answer to it, then God bless him. Fights go to the ground, but 100% of the fights start standing up. So, you know, I'm going to throw him on his back and beat a hole in his face, but until I can do that, that's it. You know, and this is a one-sided dance. I saved Anderson's job. Uncle Dana was going to give him his walking papers, and I begged him, keep him around. Keep him around for one more fight. I will retire this guy. I am now hyping this fight single-handedly. There's no help from Anderson Silva. You know, I've been telling people for a while now, Anderson Silva speaks English. He just refuses to speak to his fans. I just saw an interview with Ariel Helwani and Anderson Silva, and it was a crack-up. It was great. They're going back and forth. Anderson's doing a good job. He's saying funny things. Ariel Helwani asked Anderson Silva about the fight with Damian Maia, and all of a sudden it's C. Habla Espanol. Where's Ed at? Right? So it's the one-man show, but at the same time, you know, look, this isn't a fight that's going to be tit for tat. People say, Chael, you're getting ready for war. Guys, this isn't going to be a war. This is going to be a one-sided pounding, and I'm swinging the hammer. Protein the guy, you know, I've had it. He's a fraud. It's kind of like he gets in the ring and he likes to bow. He doesn't come from a bowing culture. If you bow in Brazil, they'll hit you over your head and take your wallet and walk off laughing.
Do you have any regrets for what you said before, like if you bow in Brazil, you can have your wallet stolen or something like that?
No, I would never apologize for anything. And by the way, Soros, that was not a correct interpretation. Anderson did not just say, it's easy to talk about me, try being me. He said, it's easy to talk about me, try beating me. You're not the only one in the room that speaks Portuguese, even though you act like you are. It's a step harder picking up that language than it is understanding Pig Latin.
Is that just a one-day thing, or how are you feeling right now?
No, I'm sore, tired, under the weather, overtrained, undermotivated, and still tough enough to beat this guy.
Battle out there for 5 rounds. No matter who wins, will you show respect to Anderson?
Well, I don't fully know what respect means. That sounds like something a kid says in the street after he's getting ready to take your coat and shoes. But, you know, listen, they want to talk about respect. I don't do that stuff. I'm here to fight. Okay, this is a fist fight to me. And you can talk mixed martial arts and you can bow and do all this crap you see in the movies, but when you're done with it and the guy in the shark's tooth gets done saying our names and gets the heck out of the ring, I'm going to get in a fist fight on Saturday night in Oakland, California. When that's done, you know, who knows what the future brings. I'm going to look for somebody else to beat up, and if I need to be nice to Anderson when it's done, that's okay too. I don't wish Anderson a bad life. I'm going to take his belt, I'm going to hurt him real bad in 2 days.
Beat him, what you going to say to him or to everybody?
Well, if we're playing in a hypothetical world and Anderson's able to beat me, that's not going to mean Anderson's that good. That just means I'm that bad. Okay? Look, we're going out there to fight, and I don't owe him anything, and he doesn't owe me anything. I just ask that he shows up on the 7th, and I ask that he makes weight tomorrow night. But no, I'm not in here to get the silver medal or say I one time fought in the main event in the UFC. I'm here purely to win the world championship, period. And it doesn't have a lot to do with Anderson. Getting to beat up Anderson is just a bonus. I'm after the championship belt. He's got it. We can't all get along. There can be only one champion.
Rico on the beat, bitch.